My Louisiana lawyer had a few questions for the Natchitoches City Court. And although the city court, the clerks were pretty prompt in answering his questions, they're definitely a lot more alert answering my lawyer's questions than they are answering my own or anybody else who contacts them. Their answers came a little short and left more questions than satisfying answers. First of all, the first question was what program were they using? And they said FTR. I looked up FTR and it looks like that's all they put. It has something to do with For the Record, maybe, fortherecord.com, and it's some kind of service that provides audio and video. So there's different plans. The FTR said that they have some kind of a gold plan. So there's different levels of service. Clearly, Judge Owsley doesn't use the video part of FTR. So clearly, Judge Owsley is not using the gold service, since he claims that the Supreme Court doesn't allow him to make video recordings in his courtroom, even though FTR is providing that service. They're providing, in Judge Owsley's eyes, I would assume they're providing an illegal service. But I looked at FTR and tried to get an idea of what services they provide, and also equipment too. They look like they sell equipment, but apparently I have to contact the sales people to find out more detail about that equipment. So that was apparently what failed. It was a mechanical failure. All the clerks have access to the mechanical equipment. So one of them, and they're not saying who was presiding over the trials, the couple of trials where the equipment did fail. They didn't say specifically who. They're just kind of passing around the blame, saying all staff. Now, I think it was either staff or secretaries. They said it in a way that didn't make it sound like Judge Owsley was like a part of it. Would Judge Owsley have the access to the recording equipment? Would he use it himself? He would at least need to be aware of what they're using and that it's working or not. So that's who has access to it, is all staff, which leaves more questions to be asked, to be answered, to find out more detail about. All right, specifically with the failures, the specific failures of these equipment. What programs, what remedies has the city court staff implemented to resolve this matter? Nothing. Straight up nothing. They got new equipment. They didn't say what. And there's no policy in place to double check it. They just got new equipment. And with new equipment comes new training, right? So they left their answers very vague and it's very concerning how they're answering questions. They're answering questions like they are preparing to have more lack of recording in the courtroom again. All right, they're answering questions in such a vague fashion that it leaves you wondering, could this happen again? And vague answers usually come from criminals. Criminals don't want to give specific answers. And I would have more specific answers or questions about this matter that I would like to delve deeper into. And if they're willing to, I mean, once again, they're willing to answer questions with my lawyer and nobody else, but their answers are even vague with my lawyer. They really need somebody down there looking over their shoulder as they go through the process of recording in the courtroom, recording trials. They need to do some kind of demonstration on how they go through their process. Maybe it's not good enough just to ask and get asked for answers so much as actually be there over their shoulder watching what they're doing to understand where the possible problem could have resulted. Because, I mean, what, did they just throw away the old equipment? I mean, it would be nice to see a demonstration of how that failed and then how they plan to use the new equipment effectively enough. I mean, all my stuff was recorded. Judge Owsley and the staff miraculously figured out how to get it working with new equipment. And I have no idea if they got the new equipment before or after. My guess is they got it before, because when I was in my first hearing, I saw a tiny little speaker thing, and then the next hearings after that, the speaker got larger. So it seems like it was some kind of maybe a speaker issue, but all of my hearings were recorded. So even with the smaller speaker, they seem to have been effective with that one. So it's hard to believe that it was a mechanical failure based on my eyewitness testimony here. Okay, I think that there was no mechanical failure. I think it was a human error, and I would like them to prove me wrong, all right, with a demonstration, not just question and answer. I want demonstration. And it's just simply based on, in my first hearing, I saw a smaller speaker, and then the next subsequent hearings after that, I saw a taller speaker. Okay. Why wouldn't that smaller speaker have failed? It doesn't make any sense. So they leave their answers very vague at the Natchitoches courthouse. And I mean, they've done so much, let's say, devious stuff at that courthouse on every level, okay? And I mean, the whole town is just, it's incredible, from the librarians all the way to Judge Owsley's court. Even, well, I'd go so far as to say the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, which is forcing my case to remain open, has agreed with everything that the city court has done. I would guess the Third Circuit Court, if I wanted to bring a lawsuit against them and there was some kind of appeal, I think the Third Circuit Court would say it's okay that they didn't record. It's okay that Judge Owsley didn't record. They actually stood their ground with a lawyer issue, at least. I mean, that was clear to anyone, to any elementary school kid. If I'm denied a free lawyer and we don't go through a process of a proper vetting for lawyers, anybody could see that. So, I mean, as lucid as they are, as out of touch as this Third Circuit Court of Appeals is, they at least could get back, take a little step back into reality of how the court process needs to, or how the courts needs to build trust with the public by making that determination with over my free lawyer issue. But still, they think that I walked around the library staking it out. I was acting in a bad fashion by looking around a library. I had bad faith. I was walking around the library with bad faith, according to them, and that's what they found in their records. So they want to keep the case alive and active. And so we want to find out more about the honesty of this court. It's on all levels. They got my voice recorder. They failed, and now they got old recording equipment and a new recording equipment plus my voice recorder. I mean, they probably don't. Well, I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. I just want to say that their questions and answers fall short, and I'm asking, what is the best way to get better answers out of them? I think demonstration would be best, but that would require somebody to be down there and actually like witness. It'd be nice to have a recording, maybe even to really show everybody who can scrutinize their process. What is the process? The court system keeps the recordings too vague in general, because even FTR.com only has one video and they don't really show much of anything. They're trying to sell this thing. And these are salesmen who don't show much. That you gotta secretly have a private conversation with the salesman to get the details of their product. So it's really a shady business overall, from commercial to the government, and then the G to B, the government to business business or transactional interactions. But yeah, I'll leave it at this.